Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. There's Helen in the background eating dinner. We kind of rushed through dinner really fast.
I
How's
unfortunately,
everybody doing?
unfortunately, I did not speed.
How's everybody doing today? So, I do have my own spoiler, teaser, reveal, whatever we want to call it today. But, we can wait on that, right? We don't have to do that right away. Why are we going to do it right away?
Yeah, that's the way for me to finish.
So, and Helen's also still eating. But I will do the reveal by 6:30 the latest, because that's what I told the team that the reveal would be by the latest 6:30. So I do want to talk about, if I remember which tab I have it in, I wanted to talk about the cards in Lifestream so far that I haven't gotten to talk about yet. So that's what we're going to start. We're going to start by talking about Lifestream, and then transition from talking about Lifestream into actually, looking at the reveal I have. I think that makes sense. So that's what we're gonna do because I have the power. This is my stream and I'll do what I want. Do what I want. But hello, Gamrel. Hello, Commander. Is it Jaime or James? Let me know. I'm always confused when I see your name. If it reads to me like Jaime. Hello, Pepper. Hello, Shiznaz, and anyone else. Champ Gigafloor goes so hard. I don't know. Let me remember. It's either... Okay, so I'm going to be bouncing around a bunch, so we'll find out. Okay, so it's not this one. It's not this one. It's not this one. Where did I put it? There it is! We got there eventually. So this is obviously how the live stream reveals I wanted to chat about just what's out in the set. So let me give myself a timer. So at 6:30, I remember to actually show you guys the skit that Helen and I prepared for the funsies.
Joke's on you, I am the timer.
Helen is the timer? I mean, if you want to be the timer, you can be the timer. Hello, Yoda. We have Star Wars in the chat? Hello? Hello? Hello, Helen.
The force is with us.
Force is with you, and I also with you. So let's talk about some of the live stream stuff so far, just to kind of jump in as the intro. Okay, I'm just gonna go through all the cards because why not? So, Giraflora, Champion of Demeter. You can target Demeter or Champion of Demeter in your underworld and return it to your hand if the Giraflora has the highest defense in the field. I don't necessarily like this card. Because what are you returning back to your hand? The Champion of Demeter. What is it? What's the champion that heals your 2 a return? Like, there's no payoff for this card yet. I'd rather just play OG Giraflora and have to have the highest defense. So at least the flavor here is really cool with synergizing and boosting the defense stat to do something. But I think its restrictions are a little bit heavy on if this card's actually going to be seeing any play. Other than the fact that I believe Frostfall Gigaflora ascends from hand over a Giraflora, so this does give you an additional 3 copies of Giraflora, so you can probably play a better Earth Reanimator strategy with Gigaflora more consistently with the Quick Ascend that I believe Gigaflora, the original Gigaflora has. So let's quickly double check the Gigaflora. I believe the OG one ascends from hand. You can spend to target. Yep, special send a Giraflora to Gigaflora. So it gives you copies 4, 5, 6 of ways to get out Gigaflora. So maybe it's more reasonable in there now. But I don't necessarily like it. Also, hello sausage. Gigaflora Champion Demeter though, you can spend a discard in order to search for a Champion of Demeter add to your hand. And then you can special cast a 1 Spirit Champion Demeter from your underworld and give it +3 attack to the next turn. So the first part's cool. You get to search. It's like an amp up. It's a searcher. It's almost like an invoke searcher for the archetype, which I think is really good. It doesn't also search Demeter, which Demeter's still looking for a searcher. So I don't necessarily think this Gigaflora is super great. I definitely think it goes into the deck as a searcher for your champions of Demeters, but you're going to want to play your other Gigaflora as your win con over this Gigaflora in a Champion of Demeter deck at the moment, unless we get more Champions of Demeter that are worthwhile playing, or a searcher for Champion of Demeter or something. I think that's reasonable. Right? Like, the new Gigaflora, this is an invoke card on a body. It's secretly an invoke card. I've already talked about the Sprouter. We can talk about Sprouter more later.
Talk about him now.
No, we've already talked about.
Discuss my son.
You can't hijack the stream.
Yeah, I can. I live here.
Cyprong. Okay, this card is like the card that reads insane, but also we don't know what Enrage or Daze is yet. At least it's not public, so we can't talk about Enrage or Dazing yet. But this card is a 4/4, which is good stat line. It searches the Divine Rune, and you want the Divine Rune for the deck. At least you can assume you want the Divine Rune for the deck, because it turns Cyprong on, because you can Daze Cyprong with Dionysus. And then it lets you destroy something that has a higher attack stat than Cyprong. So this is kind of like Earth, or like, I guess you can think of Champion Dionysus Kindleo. But it has a restriction of if your opponent has a 3-drop or has something of a defensive deck, Cyprong can't actually destroy it, which could be relevant. I mean, it generally, if something doesn't have 5 attack, you can attack Cyprong over it. If it does have more than 5 attack, you weren't getting over it anyway, and then you can use Cyprong's effect to destroy it. So in many ways, Cyprong is just like the, hey, you have an aggressive like 1-drop or 2-drop, I'm going to destroy it with my Cyprong by dazing with my Dionysus. Which, it's kind of a 1-card combo where you go, cool, Cyprong, search Dionysus, cast Dionysus, Dionysus, daze Cyprong, Cyprong effect, destroy opponent's Elestral. That's pretty good. Like, that seems really good. And then, like, the following turn you go, cool, send my Cyprong into Lotagon, pop a back row, swing for damage. Oh, you answer my Lotagon? Cool. I'll get an Ambrosia and heal all these spirits I just used over the past 2 turns back. But I think Cyprong goes crazy. Just the stat line alone with the Stadium is good, and it's all upside. It searches a Divine Rune. And if you want to play like Earth Nexus and Equal Links and stuff again, Cyprong can kind of just go in as your Earth Searcher, so you can play things like Ankle Shock potentially with this, where you go, cool, now I have ways to search my Divine Rune to meet like Dionysus. Unfortunately, Demeter would be better for Ankle Shock, but you can at least search an Nexus Bank, which something like Ankle Shock really wants, and people have been experimenting a lot with the Ankle Shock deck in Clash, which I think is super cool to see. And also the marble frame art of this card, which I don't have pulled up, has like a frame break that is peak. So good. It's so peak. All right, next up, I want fire stuff. People were freaking out about Humbus, Champion of Apollo. Talking about this FTK, and I'm not gonna say it's not impossible to FTK with Humbus plus Corvishine, but the like steps you'd have to go to get both of them on board at the same time, and then mill your opponent out, and then if it fails, your opponent still has a billion spirits to try to get you back with. But Humbus it counts as a Solar Estral when you foretell, so you can find it off like an Apollo, or if you find it off like a Royal Lottle, if you're trying to play like a stall deck, you can add it to your hand. When you foretell, opponents must mill the top of their deck equal the number of cards you foretold. So generally, if you foretold 3 off an Apollo, they're milling 3. That's a slightly lower or slightly higher rate than the OG Humbus if you go like Humbus into Apollo, but it's more specific where you go Apollo foretell, you're milling 4. If you have Corvishine, they're now milling 7. In theory, if you go Humbus, Corvishine, Apollo, mill 21. I mean, I don't know how people are screaming FTK with it. I just can't think of a way you can FTK with this at all reasonably. I could see like an OTK mill combo, but people are saying FTK, which is not there. It's just not there. This is a really cool card, and I think it might make mill more reasonable to be played, and people are already picking up like Salashade more reasonably, because Salashade's been a pretty powerful card with how high the attack set gets and just the mill engine it creates, which is really cool to see the Hestia Salashade stuff actually be really like useful and played a lot more in Clash. I've run into it a ton of times, so that's cool. Mill support's cool. No one likes to die to a mill out, but in theory, like Elestrals is all just mill out, right? You mill your opponent, you mill your opponent's spirit deck by attacking them. This is just milling your opponent's main deck, right? It's the same.
Is it though?
Yes, Helen, it is the same. Humber's Champion of Apollo. So when Humber's is foretold, you can special send it from your Humber's If your Apollo is enchanted, you can force an opponent to send the top 4 cards of the deck to the underworld. Burn equals mill. Got it. Yes, burn does equal mill. Mill equals burn. It's the same thing, Pepper. Like, trust. It's all Elestrals is all mill. When I tell people how to win the game, I tell them either your opponent's decks get to 0 and they have to draw or expend, and that's how you win. So it's all the same. So this Humber's Champion of Apollo, I don't necessarily think it's great. We see kind of the Humbers, the OG Humbers not seeing any play because it's hard to get it on board and then use it as like the finishing blow. This is significantly easier because you can go cool Foretell with Apollo. Let's say you have Corvershine and Humbers in play. You go cool Foretell, Apollo, 7, mill your opponent 7, ascend into this, mill them another 4. You get a 6/2 body on board. They want to, in theory, you could start threatening your opponent's stuff. But I don't necessarily think that the deck wants Humburst in the deck. I think I'd rather find other ways to combo mill your opponent out. I do think this card's playable, especially if you run in like the Corvershine Humbust combo stuff, but I don't know if it's better than old Humburst as a finishing blow kind of situation. Follow Strongest Soldier, these cards are stinky. I don't think they're stinky. I think the mill is a viable strategy in Solar now, but it's not what the Solar players wanted. Solar players didn't want like Foretell mill. They wanted ways to get Celestial on board on turn 2 and actually play the game. Hellmount, I talked to briefly. This card's really cool, just waiting for more support with Comagma. What else have I not talked about? Oh, I have not talked about Crackhead yet. This is pun intended foretelling something, which I think if we see more position lock, we see the coins that they release for the position lock. When Celestial not to die instantly and you want a counter that foretells as a combat trick. Alright, if you want to foretell as a combat trick, you're going to play Wind, you're going to play Apollo, not Apollo, you're going to play Aeolus, Windjin, and Altar to your Windjin on your opponent's turn. There you go. Mill's going to be obnoxious playing against Royal. Yeah, but Royal is also something that it can whiff a bunch, and also there's a bunch of suppression tools that we see with like the Artemis support that's going to be coming out. Like, there's also, we have Dense Fog already. We have the Wind already, Zephyr, whatever. I can never remember the name of the winds. Like, there's ways to deal with Royal, and if your opponent's trying to abuse Royal and you just shut off the Royal, the decks built around abusing Royal aren't going to be constructed well. And then decks built around like foretelling milling combos are going to require multiple cards to set up that all get shut off also by suppression, so there's counterplay to it as long as you have a good side deck for it. Monsoon of Eurus, that's what I'm thinking of, correct. But going back to Kraken real quick, Zone Lock. Okay, if we're talking about toxic strategies, how do you guys think about Crashtira? Zone Lock, I personally was always a fan of the, Crack King combo, Tadpuff plus a way to discard the King plus Rise from, double play on board, 2 Crackings in a row, lock my opponent out of Elestrals, only to get roiled and EQ'd out of the game anyway. Kraken 3% in turn 1. Yes. That is how you do it. But the thing is, if you're doing that, like, there's so many ways to just, like, pop crack it. Like, that is the scary combo, where it's like, cool, I just did something generic. But also, if you open Poseidon and crack it and Nexus to it 3 times and lock all your opponent's zones, you better have A, gone first, and B, have something to follow that up with, because otherwise you're going to lose the game the second your opponent finds any removal or way to, like, deal with the Kraken. Because let me just double check. The plan effect, you can block one opponent as long as Kraken isn't changed. So suppressing Kraken wouldn't shut this off because it's a lingering effect. It's not an active passive. So the only way to deal with this Kraken is basically with a rune if your opponent somehow has the God Hand of Toxicity. And they went first with that God Hand. And the odds of getting 3... Let's actually look this up real quick. Opening hand calculator.
Also, hey, 15 ducks. What's up?
Is this what I'm trying to remember what I use. Hand calculator.
Hey, Texas Hold'em.
I want to say it's the Yu-Gi-Oh one because it's a similar deck size. But back to safety. Maybe it's Hand Simulator. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Or draw.
Play Trident, so their only way out is Earthquake. You know what? Valid.
This will work. Okay, so no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm gonna find it. That's not. Oh well, I'll find another time. But the odds of drawing 3 Poseidon and Kraken off the same thing, not likely. It's like 0.0 something % probably.
Sure, the math.
It's gonna come down to what other zone lock effects we get. If it's just Kraken, it's not gonna do anything. Like if it's Kraken plus OG cracking, whatever. But since there's zone lock, I think there's zone block coins, right? Some of the coins are zone block.
Right? Sure.
You like that Poseidon gets to do Ojama things? Correct. 3 Poseidon, Trident, Kraken, Exodia in this game.
Yeah.
Give Kraken, Bag of Winds, Trident, Hammer, and Hephaestus in play, and all of a sudden it's untargeted by anything. And you, I don't know, get Hurricaned out of the game. No, Hurricane's face down. Yeah, there's
Gusted.
something.
Yeah,
Zone block coins. The other side is suspended. I think you mean suppressed. Okay, so zone block. So zone block coins. So I doubt they're making zone block coins for one card. So we'll see what other zone blocks we get in a set to find out if this is actually a viable card or not. Talked about Lockdown. Talked about Capricorn. Coastalith. People are hating on my man Coastalith. I'm sorry. I think this card is just fine. It is a decent body, and I think Commander James or Jaime, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, did a pretty good expose of why this card is useful in like a Water Reanimator deck to just churn through stuff. It, like people are saying, oh, I could just play Nog. You could just play Nog, but this gets spirits on board for Ascensions. It thins your deck a bit more than Nog does before the draw. The stream is only 720p. Is that intentional? No. I don't know why it would only be 720p. Weird. Not a ton I can do about that now. So it's definitely fun tech to play around with. Yeah, I think it's really cool in a Water Reanimator deck just to churn through a bunch of stuff. There's ways to get it on board without Aphrodite. With you play Aphrodite, search the other Coastalith, thin your deck, and draw 2 cards. You can get the other Coastalith if you really want. I think it's a really cool tech card. I think it's worthwhile playing in an Atlantis-based deck. Staying in my chair.
I've been leaning on your chair
yeah,
the
I'm trying to
entire
feel
time
it.
because I have nowhere to sit down. That's what.
We'll pull up a chair. Dish piece.
Fine,
I do think
chair. I'm not moving the rocking chair.
But I do think Coastalith is a very cool card. I think it has usability that is cool and interesting, and it is slightly. I think the people that just say, "Oh, I'd rather just play Nog," are missing the ability to ascend off of it. And the ability to play around with the stadium to get extra buys on board and do draw shenanigans while doing other things. Like if Coastalith sticks on board, every Aphrodite trigger turns into draw 2 and a thin a deck of 1, which I think is pretty powerful. Urson had a really good Water Reanimator. Yeah, so Water Reanimator Clash is like the one deck I've been struggling against, or one of a couple of decks I've been struggling against with the control deck, where it's like, cool, they're playing water stuff too. Oh no, how do I deal with any of this? Ooh, I never got a chance to talk about Bubbloon. This card is just okay. I think it's really cool to trigger receive effects and get things on board, and I think it's really thematic that we have a Chronodile in the background of this card. Chronodile wants it. At least it doesn't die whale like people saying it does for some reason. Everything dies to whale at some point. It does die to Eddie. Everything dies to Eddie at some point.
Of course it does.
But the Bubbloon card I think is pretty cool. I think it has synergy, yes, with Starbit, yes, with Chronodile. All that shenanigans. It's another card in this set that just seems to be like, it's just another Invoke Rune on a Celestial card. It's not necessarily counterable. So if people start playing more Divine Blessings because there's more Divine Runes floating around. Sorry.
Wait to see the new Chronodile.
There is a new Chronodile, so maybe, just maybe, there's something more reasonable. There's a coin flip coin. Yes, there is a coin flip coin. We're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, coin flip to start game. Heads or tails. I don't think there needs to be just a head or tails. Game Man, we're not there yet. I'm going over what's already been shown off. I will show the reveal in a few minutes while I go over the other stuff that I haven't touched on in Livestream. And then we will do the awesome, crazy reveal and talk about it. So we have 8 minutes to continue rushing through the rest of the Livestream. Pelcar's Champion Aphrodite. You can Nexus a water. When you do, you can special send the receiving Elestral with a winter water Elestral in hand. When this Pelcar is enchanted, it also counts as a water Elestral. I think this card is insane if we find a way to break it. Otherwise, it is just okay. Like if you make a water wind deck, like if you want to play like a Nemesail Nexus water wind deck, this could go crazy if Nemesail / Terrasail are good enough, which I don't think they are, but maybe water wind heal Nexus is a potential strategy. It is immune to Monsoon because it's wind water.
No, you pair it with Monsoon.
You can pair with, yeah, so water, wind, heal, Monsoon, suppression. What else can we stick in this deck, this theoretical deck? But I do think Peliquarius is a card that in theory could go crazy insane if there are support around water and wind, or maybe in the future with more water wind support, it could go crazy. As an Aphrodite card, I don't think it's good. What do you do with this with Aphrodite? You search other Peliquarius that searches a water Elestral. That seems so slow compared to something like the Locagon stuff you could be doing Aphrodite. It's a really cool card, and I think it will be very powerful if there's a water wind shell to go with it.
It makes you kind of want to go wide instead of tall, I guess.
It's a card that potentially you can go wide, especially if you go Nexus onto it, get Terrasail, Nexus from Terrasail, get a Nemesail, heal 2 wind, repeat.
Yeah, it's doable.
You can turbo into Pent. You can turbo into a water enchanted Penterror.
Yeah, that's valid.
That is valid. Continuing on with the wind stuff, Vindus Champion Aeolus. This card's so confusing. Wind that you use to play runes that are enchanting cards in your field are also treated as earth. So, okay, if you play like a Nog with wind spirits, also earth. I guess you could play Earthquake with a wind spirit. When it receives 2 or more earths, which is kind of difficult unless you're playing like Circle of the Sky or like Equal Links to Nexus to Earth to it.
Bloom.
You can special cast Bloom also. No, because Bloom is 1 then 1. It's not on the same turn, it's at the same time. Bloom almost does it, but doesn't quite. You can special cast a Findust or Hypofin from your hand or deck. I don't think Findust is good. I think Hypofin is solid, and you'd play old Findust with new Hypofin if you want to play an Aeolus Wind Earth deck, because this makes... Yeah, just to send over something. I guess you could just send over something with 2 Earth, but you still need to get 2 Earth on board.
Don't worry, I'll make it work. Challenge accepted.
Monsoon does work because it becomes Earth. Does Monsoon work because it's wind that you use to play runes and that are enchanting on your field are also treated Earth? Yeah, Monsoon would work there, actually. That's, I guess, interesting. I still don't think Findust is good. I'm sorry. I do think this Hypofin could be crazy because you can search for Earth Invoke runes, so this allows you to Aeolus to search for Earthquake, and then you can heal back all the spirits that you use for the Aeolus and Earthquake, pretty much.
You can ascend with wind over another. Well,
yeah. Casting an Earth rune, there's not a ton of Earth runes you want to cast, so unless we get more Earth runes, this card could be better suited if we get more Earth Wind support and more Earth runes to go with the Dionysus stuff. There's probably going to be some Earth runes. There's like no other Earth support in this set, like unless we get Demeter or Dionysus runes that you want to play with Aeolus as well. So there could be an interesting Dionysus plus Aeolus like Hypofin deck, which I think would be really cool. Normal send Findus and anyone spirit, wind, earth, kind of receiving 2 Earth Spirits. True, Skyhawk, true. I still think it's a bad card. It's a 1-drop you want to ascend with. Like, I guess, you know what? It's not a bad card. It has a 6 on it.
Yeah, it's a 6 defense.
It has a 6. I think Hypofin Champion Aeolus has a better chance of seeing play. And if you're going to play this, you could like Sandstorm to get it out off a base Hypofin.
It is not cryoblastable, therefore it is good.
No one plays Cryoblast anymore. What else we got? Abominursa, Champion of Kion. When this Abominursa destroys an Elestral in battle, you can Nexus a Frost from your Kion to it. When you do, you can special send Abominursa to Glaciers from your hand or deck. Oh, look! It is another pig. It is a Sorlet Champion. It's a Sorlet Champion of Aeolus, but in bear form. The question isn't is this playable, because we see pigs are playable. This is worse than Champion Aeolus pig, but you get a 3-drop out of it that could potentially not necessarily pierce damage, because Glacier doesn't do piercing damage, it does damage based on your chanting Kion, but could go crazy to just like get this giant Glacier out for really cheap and efficient. And if you want to get more, like, there needs to be more Kion synergy, and we see that with like the Enfrost sticks and stuff, so could be good.
Also burns.
Yeah, it's fake piercing. It's like Kion fake piercing. But I think this is gonna. I think Turbo Bears and Bear Tempo is going to be a better version of this deck. Maybe there's a way that you lean more towards Bear Tempo with this Abominursa, so that you get things like OG Majursa out for the stat buffs on the Abominursa to actually swing over with a 6 attack, chain it to a Glaciersa.
We need to speedrun Rusty's cards. It's getting tight on time.
I mean, we could just come back to the cards after the reveal.
We have 2 minutes to speedrun the Rust.
We have 2 minutes in that. 2 minutes in the okay. Catarant Champion Kion, Foretell 4, send card to Underworld, yada yada yada. I think this makes a different mill deck. If you slam it all with the Blistrix, you make a 40-card self-mill pile. I think you're doing a detriment to an actual viable deck, but it would be hilarious to play both Catarant and Blistrix. Oh no! We're out of time! Alright, we're going to come back to the rest of reveals. Are you guys ready for our fun little bit?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to mute myself. And we're going to play the video, and then I will drop the video for other people to watch in a little bit. All right. I muted myself before I said,
Good
have
job.
fun. Enjoy, everybody. How dare it be muted? All right. All right, we're gonna figure out why it's muted. Hold on.
Oh my.
Hold on. I think this will fix it.
Oh my. We have to.
Hey Helen, guess the card, or I'm taking it from your collection.
Really? That's my TGA prototype Hollow Sun Terror. It's a grade 9.
Okay, that was too easy. I'm gonna try again. All right, Helen, we'll try this again.
You gotta be kidding me, right? That is obviously my full art stellar Centaur number 5 of 10.
But how do you don't even see the card? Wait, what are you doing with Jataya? What's he doing in the... All right, this time I definitely have her. All right, Helen, guess the card, or I'm taking it from your collection.
Really, Tim? It's Centaur Champion of Dionysus. What am I supposed to tell you?
Aha, you're wrong. Actually, it's Sprout. Wait, what? Where'd you get this from? This doesn't even exist yet.
I own every Centaur, Tim. Elestrals, no.
All right. Only slightly scuffed. Only slightly scuffed. Let me pull up the actual image again so we can go look and talk about the car.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. We had a little fun making the bits. If you guys want to go back and watch it, if you guys saw, there's a bunch of little bits in the background that we did that was super fun.
We tried our best.
The Centaur Champion of Dionysus.
Yes,
It's me, Dio. So, Centaur Champion of Dionysus is a 10-13 for 3 Earth. When the battle phase begins, you destroy each of your opponent's enraged Elestrals. You can daze this Centaur until your next turn in order to special cast a September from your hand, deck, or Underworld.
Yup.
What does Old September do? Old September says if you destroy an Elestral while it's enchanted with an artifact, you can nexus the spirits from the artifact to September and ascend it to Centaur.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I remember that because no one plays with the card. But
I would have remembered it. I'm right here.
But okay, so let's talk Centaur. Okay, so in theory, if we enrage all of our opponent's Elestrals, we can board wipe our opponent, which sounds crazy. You can daze Centaur until your next turn. We don't know what daze does. Special cast they say Timber from your hand deck or underworld. So he brings the family along. So we have a 3-drop that we don't necessarily have a way yet to bridge to it. But we can talk about if we bring up our boy. Scroll. Sprouter. So if we go Sprouter and Dionysus, Nexus is Sprouter 1 Spirit, search Centaur, protect Sprouter for literally a turn. We can then ascend into Centaur the follow-up.
Yep.
So we kind of have like a Comalis situation to get the Centaur out, which we know is doable, not always great. But Centaur is a 5 defense, which is a higher stat line than Comalis was. Additionally, we see at least some amount of Dionysus support. So it might be reasonably... You might reasonably be able to get to Centaur on turn 2 if you go Sprouter, play Dionysus, Nexus over, Ascend. Additionally, we have the other Dionysus stuff like Cyprong that's like controlling where it can pop cards when it's dazed. So a lot of this Dionysus stuff likes to either be enraged or dazed to trigger... I don't know, dazing Centaur to get a 2-drop into play seems really good. As long as the, say, Timber that is in theory a champion of Dionysus not revealed is good. Even if it's not, we get old say Timber, we're still adding another 2-drop body to board that in theory could then ascend into something else, or maybe it's just good on its own.
Elestrals says check Discord.
Elestrals says check Discord.
Okay. Going to check Discord.
If we get to 100 views, we'll reveal another card. Holy... Well, actually, let me go real quick and actually publish the short for everybody else to view.
Yeah.
Now that I revealed it. Let's see. Helen, you are my producer now. I need you to keep track of what's going on.
You got it. I love the guesses happening in Discord right now. We must let words reveal another card. It could be Drataya. it could be Champion of Dionysus September calling it.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. The short's released in public. Can you explain the keywords instead of revealing another card? I will explain the keywords right now. So enrage is a word in the English vocabulary that has to do with people getting very angry and upset when someone or something makes them upset or furious.
Yeah.
Days is another word in the English vocabulary that has something to do with, I think, there's 7 days in a week? Yeah, that sounds right.
Stop.
Drataya, we riot. Correct. If it's not Drataya, we riot. I was... Dang, Enrage sounds busted. Yeah, and it's like, I think Enrage also allows you to punch your opponent in the face. I'll get Skyhawk to double check on that, but I think that's what we are allowed to do when we get enraged. Enrage does redact. Oh, we have to fire Nick. He revealed enrage.
My God,
it does.
Nick, I
It
can't
does
believe
redacted.
you.
How
You're kidding me.
dare? Call the keyword TVH.
Man. Currently at 59.
Currently 59. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait to see if we get rid. All right. You guys need to all to make separate YouTube accounts. Go get your tablets. Go get your phones. Go get your laptops. Go get your mother's laptop, your brother's laptop, your father's laptop, everyone's device, and just start viewing my stream for, I don't know, reasons that we don't know because, yeah, sure. Enraged and David Anomalies being contained by the SCP Foundation. Sure.
Yeah, sure. One person left.
All right,
How
check
dare
look.
you?
Hey, Cappy Gang, long time no see. Like and subscribe as well. Yeah, subscribe to Words. I don't say that enough because I have other people to say it for me. I don't think opening the stream in multiple tabs will
No,
work.
if it's within the same, I think it.
No,
for, different viewers.
Shiznaz, punch in the face. I mean, physically, you get to punch your opponent. We're turning this game into like a violent simulator.
Yeah, sure.
But it's balanced. We swear.
Mhm.
It works on Twitch. I don't know how YouTube works.
I don't think it works. With
I feel like they're
that.
not going to do that. But yeah, at the very least, the second you get this Centaur out, using, say, the Sprouter shenanigans or any other Earth Nexus shenanigans, you get 2 bodies on board, a 3-drop and a 2-drop. So that seems like a significantly good payoff. I don't necessarily think the power of the Centaur is going to be in that first line where you're popping Elestrals that are enraged, but the second half of it where you're just every turn able to special cast a September from your hand, deck, or Underworld sounds crazy. And let's say we use original September, which let me go pull up original September real fast. I just want to read I believe it Nexuses.
I can't believe you can't even spell it.
It's SCA. So original September, when this empowered by your artifact and destroys celestial battle, you can Nexus spirits from the artifact to the September. Special send it to Centaur from a hand or deck. Yeah, so in theory, if we go Centaur, get out OG September, have an Argo, or just a way to put an artifact on it, swing, we get another Centaur, Champion of Dionysus out. Following turn, we get 2 more September. Now we have, 8 spirits on board?
Yeah,
and
gross.
4 guys. You could do some shenanigans.
Remember, regular Centaur is still there.
Regular Centaur. True. All right, we need to just scribble on Aphrodite, scribble the little water celestial part off so we can search Centaur with Centaur.
Yeah, totally.
Also, can we talk about how Aphrodite would be the perfect Morphrost Divine Rune if not for the fact that it's limited to water?
Limited to water, yeah, exactly. 58 people.
Imagine if this Aphrodite said you can enchant water, disenchant water, and it's same name as any Elestral. Then you just go search a bunch of Morphrost.
Literally just get all the Morphrost.
If only. It's not quite there.
DM's close enough.
DM's close enough.
They sent it.
What do we get to reveal?
What do we get to show
It's
off?
a secret. It's a secret to everybody. All right, we'll be back in 3 hours with the new skit. Oh all right.
God,
Dan
wait.
says fire away. Cool.
Hold up. I need to see it for myself. You know what? This is you guys are gonna like it.
I gotta open up Discord to go pull it up real fast. This is exciting. Reveal number 2. Thank you, Mr. A Drive Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Water needs a lichen form. Water needs a damp pup. I'm still pitching damp pup as a Nexus Amp pup. Yeah. And what we get? We got Were pup. Whoop-de-doo. Damp pup.
Where's our solar puppy? Come on.
Solar puppy?
Yeah.
Do we are there no solar?
There's no solar pups.
Just the lions, yeah.
Just the lions.
Sag. No.
We need more dogs.
Yeah. More dogs.
Time to clip.
Dogs.
Get yourself ready.
Discord open faster so I can reveal a card.
I told you to update Discord.
It is updated. It just takes forever to load up.
No, it hadn't updated.
Did you know characters like @ £, and blah 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 blah?
Are y'all ready?
All right, we're gonna take the image and we're going to save the image. We're going to add it to our pictures. Save it. Close this.
Y'all ready?
All right, let's slide this over so that we have space. What's the Earth Dog?
Actually, do we even have one?
Sprouter.
Sprouter is not a dog, but alright.
Sprouter's a dog.
What the dog doing?
And browse for images. Where are you? There you are. Let's go! Reveal!
Hey-o!
The family's all here!
The family's all here! September Champion of Dionysus.
Yeah, Helen, you want to go ahead and read it while I take a sip of water?
Yeah, you got it. It is a 5/8. When the September receives 1 or more Earth, you can target an opponent's Elestral and enrage it. When an opponent's enraged Elestral declares an attack, you can return that Elestral to their hand.
Woo! Woo! Card number 2.
Goodbye. It is a shield.
All right, this is definitely significantly better than OG September with the Centaur
100%.
stuff.
Yeah.
5/8 is big. It's okay. It's the thing is, right? If you play aggressive, so let's say you go Centaur, special this September out, you basically get to pop an opponent's Elestral since the September will enrage it for the Centaur. So there's a nice little synergy here.
There is no special ascend route.
Ascend route, but it's very much, I think, you want to get to the Centaur and then the September is kind of like the synergy with Centaur. Then if your opponent wants to remove Centaur, they remove Centaur, you still have a body on board. And then maybe you send it to a second Centaur and get the September back from Underworld.
It's valid.
But also, if you just hard ascend the September, enrage your opponent's Elestral, and then they attack the September with the enraged Elestral, and you bounce it to their hand, then you can go ascend Centaur over the September and get September back from the Underworld, since Centaur also pulls from Underworld.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's kind of like a backwards ascension route, right?
Interesting, yeah.
So instead of kind of ascending into Centaur, you're descending to September to get it back out.
Paleolog dumps Cedar Soar still on the menu.
Paleolog dumps Cedar Soar for Centaur is still on the menu.
It
True.
Is. And we also talk about how the Centaur has shot off poison-tipped arrows.
I mean,
it's still more poison-tipped arrows.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
The art actually, I never noticed. The art's kind of connected in a way, except the Centaur grass is a little bit more brown.
The Centaur grass is lighter. I don't know what you're on.
It's like whatever. It's almost a combination art. So yeah, they work together really well. It looks like, because you play Centaur, you get the September, you enrage an Elestral, you go to battle, the Elestral gets popped, you attack for a bunch of damage with the September. Like, that just seems good synergy in a backwards situation. The hard part's obviously going to be ascending into a 3-drop. So it comes down to, is the Dionysus stuff going to allow you to ascend to 2s and 3s more consistently? And we see, at least with the Sprouter, we can search both these cards pretty reasonably consistently to find these. Grass is always green on the September side. True.
That's so true.
True. Sprout also searches the Madness, which we don't know yet. Probably in Rages or Dazes. Could be something in Rages that matters more.
Potentially.
That is actually, I forgot that Sprouter didn't just search champions. So I'm going to give you your attack ascend, give up 1 damage a turn with an unconditional destroy, and more damage plus re-enchant destroy next turn. I think that's a reasonable assumption. I know the community as a whole, the kind of prevailing idea for Enrage and Daze is currently, people say that Daze is going to be can attack and Enrage must attack if able. So on that logic, if that's what you're following with the community stuff, yeah, that would be like sacrificing damage for the chance. Sacrificing damage for the chance to do more damage in the future and get some more synergy and removal. You want to open the curtains a little bit? It's a little dark in here.
It is kind of dark in here.
Excited. I think Earth is back on the menu. We are going to the Earth Water set, and Water's obviously been on the menu in the meta for months now with Firestorm and the Whales. But I think Earth is very much going to be back on the menu because we have really good starters in the Earth stuff with Sprouter and Sightprong. And we don't know what Ranger Daze does, but we have good starters. We have Nexus shenanigans. We have what looks to be a pretty powerful top end with the Centaur. So I really hope that Earth is actually super viable in the next function. Wonder if Enraged Daze blocks Ascend too, because it seems pretty easy to out otherwise, but might be part of the point. All right.
We'll see.
So we need to errata Gorgons then again with another keyword. Eventually, Gorgons is not going to be an actual paragraph. It's just going to be a keyword slop.
True.
Rage has to be a taunt, otherwise the second effect is just Pheramel 2. I guess in the sense of you can't do this thing, but September Enrage has no end timing. It does not have an ending timing to it.
Oh snap!
But
right.
Unless you suppress the September, it's gonna get bounced anyway.
No, just put September.
All right, thanks for stopping by, Emporium. I appreciate you. Maybe if we get 100 subs, we'll get a third card to reveal.
If we get to 1.1k.
1.1k. Yeah, if I get 60 more subs.
No, we're at...
Enrage doesn't wear off, it seems. What are the other Enrage cards we have? Well, all the Dionysus stuff lasts until the next turn, or until your next turn, I believe. Hold on, let's pull these back up.
Surge, I'm doing my part. God speed.
Let me go. So Barabas doesn't have an end timing as well. Barabas is permanent. Sideprong wants to be dazed, doesn't daze things. When this Logon target destroys Logons in rage, you can battle by destroy effect. That has no timer on it. So just let's go scroll down to Dionysus real fast.
Whee!
So Dionysus until your next turn. So Dionysus lasts until you're basically your draw step of the following turn. So yeah, we see more kind of, I guess, non-deterministic and rage days than we see deterministic like time frames, which is interesting. Sure.
I can see it. Wait, a possible third review? When's this?
We're actually gonna reveal the whole set tonight. Let's go.
Gotta head out. Thanks for around, Nick. Thanks for
Have a
coming
good
out.
one, Nick. Appreciate you stopping by. But yeah, we were talking about kind of the rest of Lifestream, so let's continue talking about Lifestream real quick. We were on Catarant. So Catarant, you can foretell 4. Send a foretell codes from Underworld. If you send Iwooly, you can special send Catarant to Iwooly. A lot of people were talking about just slapping this and making Blizzrix even stronger than it was. I don't know if that's necessary, because if you put 3 Catarants and like an Iwooly in your deck, or 3 Catarants and 2 Iwooly, you need to play both your Snowlet and your Catarant back to back and have them both stick in play to get use out of both of them. So I think you ultimately have to play these in 2 separate decks, where Catarant, Catarant equals, was it Catarant plus
Catarant plus Corvus.
I guess you could do that, but then you're adding more wonkiness to your combos.
I see no reason to not.
Yeah, JK Elestrals, Catarant Iwooly is better without the Blizz. I think Blizz is the same end of it, where it's like, I think Catarant Iwooly is going to be a little bit more of like your low to the ground build-up deck, where you're going Catarant to search, or basically dump a specific card, which you're hoping is Iwooly, and doing other stuff within the Frost element. Whereas Blizzrix is just, you want to go gamble into gamble into gamble because you're trying to mill everything off, where Catarant is you're milling one thing off. And then I believe the Iwooly mills... Well, Iwooly's mill, and then... Yeah, so Iwooly's 10 top 4 cards in your deck to Underworld. Special cast any 1 Spirit Frost Celestial sent to the Underworld this way. So this is a card that you're going to want to hit your Cedar Swords with, and hit whatever other 1-drop Frost Elestrals. And then potentially you hit the new Frostrix, and that gets you like your Catarant back onto board, and you do it again. So there's another kind of gamble combo thing, but I think this is a little bit more of a condensed package that you play within other Frost cards, as opposed to just slapping a 40-card self-mill deck with Blizzrix and try and hit both at the same time. That's not really going to happen. But I could see a world where you go Iwooly, then you find your Snowlet, and go into combo from there, or you go Iwooly into Frostrix, back into Catarant, get more mills going, do stuff like that. So definitely it's a cool concept, but because Blizzrix is this and we see what Blizzrix already does, I don't necessarily think Iwooly is a better deck. I think it's just a slightly different build of self-mill that doesn't fully mesh with the old build of self-mill, as particularly the Owls, and which one is better is up for grabs. Sort of Champion Void, but gambling, except when you know what you're going to hit because you foretold the Catarant. True!
Looking forward to having a board full of Corvus Shrines. You know what? You're so right.
Apollo, Apollo, cool. We are okay with shortcutting me just stacking my deck real quick? Thanks.
Yeah, totally. Moving on to the next.
What's the next card we have? Let's see. Oh, Frostrix. So let's talk about Frostrix. This card is crazy.
A little bit.
I think this card's crazy. Like, turning Keone into a Reanimator spell is really cool. And I think something that Keone will actually allow Keone to see some play. What you're exactly going to use Keone with this in Frostrix is up for grabs, but I think the Catarant stuff is good with this card. And maybe Bears to do like a tempo Frost Bears if there's more good Keone Bears besides just a Abominursa.
Also, the art's really good.
And the art's very nice.
The art's good.
So, art.deck, that's what we're playing now.
Art.deck, yes please. Sign me up.
Alright, that's the new Kissimmee side event. We're going to do you build a 40-card deck that has the best overall art going on, and you win a box. I'll pitch it.
Yeah.
Parawat Kion.
Ooh, I could totally see that.
We do need ways to get to 3-drop, and we want to get lots of spirits on board, and we want Kion with Parawat to soak up spirits.
There'd better be an Enfrostic Stellar. You know what? I could absolutely see that.
There is in Frostfall. There's only a good Kion searcher. There will given the track record with like Volcaries and Sightprong, there will eventually be a searcher for every Divine Rune that does something relevant within archetype.
Presumably.
So it's a matter of what does an archetype searcher for Kion, what would that do? Dump a 1-cost Celestial to the underworld and search a Kion maybe? That would be cool.
And Parawat works with the new Morfrost.
And Parawat has always worked with Morfrost. Mm-hmm. Like, have you not seen Mr. Bean's Morfrost and Parawat deck?
Yeah.
But I do think Enfrostrix is a really, really cool card to experiment in Frost Reanimator stuff and actually makes Kion somewhat playable as long as the other Kion stuff works well with Kion.
Speaking of...
I have spoken about New Morfrost in the past, so we are going to skip over this. I have not talked about Glimbat and the new Novacore. Is this Glimbat good? It's okay. You search for Temple of Sun. It's basically copy 4, 5, 6 of Temple of Sun if you're playing a Temple of Sun based deck, which there's a reason to play a Temple of Sun based deck because of Novacore Champion of Apollo.
But every bat is basically just designed to think about it. Every bat. Glimbat. Yeah.
No, Glimbat wants to discard it. Oh, I guess that's going to the underworld.
It's literally every bat has been designed to die.
Smokescreen. It's a new lith. It is. The Novacore is effectively like Lava Lith for Celestial Destruction. It's a 4/6, so the attack stat's not great, but you're going to be playing it under Temple of Sun, and you get to just cast it out and pop an Celestial and then swing for 2. This, I think, is most comparable to a Heliolith, though.
So too.
Because you play an artifact into Heliolith and then bounce your opponent's Celestial. This is you play Temple of Sun, then you can destroy an opponent's Celestial. It's better than a Heliolith because you're destroying Celestials, but it's a little bit more specific where you need to find Temple of Sun, but we have ways to search Temple of Sun, so we can have copies 4, 5, and 6 pretty consistently. The question is, what else is the deck doing that's going to synergize with Novacore? And I think it's a matter of this is going to be a package you slot into an already existing solar deck of some kind. Maybe even Cows as like Cows plus Temple of Sun plus Novacore.
Plus Liar, honestly.
But
Liar goes crazy.
It is a compact enough package if you have consistent ways to find Novacore and the stadium. So Cows, Apollo, search shenanigans. Find this card, plop it out, destroy an Celestial.
Honestly, I think the Novacore is going to be the thing that makes me build like a really solid solar deck.
And there's also like you could go like full Champion Apollo build with the Heliolith side and the plucky stuff, plus Temple of Sun, and now you have Novacore and Heliolith. So you have 6 cards that can just enter board and basically knock a dude out.
Exactly.
And then this becomes with like a Liar. It's a 8/10 under Stadium. Novacore isn't the craziest, splashiest card, but it feels very easy to have live in super strong interaction with the 6-guy Stadium. Fantastic. Hope it does well. I think this is going to allow solar decks to kind of play this Heliolith, Novacore, Champion Apollo stuff a little bit more consistently and make Champions of Apollo as a deck a little bit more reasonable to play as Champions of Apollo.
I mean, listen, all I'm saying is we've gotten the Verdolith champ. When's Heliolith champ of Apollo? Because it's bound to happen.
He's right here.
No, the actual Heliolith.
All right, and Corvishine Champion Apollo. If you guys have already seen the Caster's Corner reveal this card is crazy, but it also... Okay, let's talk about this. So it's a 2/5, so it's good defense. You foretell an additional 3 cards. You can shuffle your deck and then enchant Apollo with the solar. So it allows you to shuffle your deck if you don't like your foretells or you want to pitch away all your cards. This card reads crazy, but unfortunately, I think there's also the fact that this card has to get played before you do anything. So, like turn 1, you go Corvishine, Apollo, foretell a bunch, sure. But I think if you draw this mid to late game, it's as useless as it's just a brick mid to late game. Like you want something that like again, this is kind of the like it's worse than Astrabbit in the mid game, the late game, but it's better than Astrabbit I think in the early game. It's with a Humbus Lumaru Mill. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Yes, combo mill. This card goes crazy.
I mean, 5 defense still isn't bad.
Correct, but if your opponent has like a Cryoverin in the middle of the game, what's 5 defense doing? Yeah. Not enough. So I think this card goes very, very strong early game. And if you're going to be playing it, you have to play it early. Otherwise, you're looking at just playing it in combo mill to try and win the game. So that's I think the shtick there. Humbus Mill makes this 5 foretell deck. Makes this 5 foretell. Yeah, if you foretell 5 times with it on the board, it's a deck out. If you let your opponent get to the point that they are able to foretell that many times in a turn, what are you doing? That's getting, 3 Apollos? I guess what you do, Corvashine, Humbust, play Apollo, get Cow, play Apollo. Oh no, because the new Cow doesn't ascend into Soul Stocks. Does it ascend into the new Soul Stocks? Because the new Soul Stocks bounces an Apollo back to your hand. You can replay Apollo. Try to get another Soul Stocks, bounce Soul Stocks to hand, replay Apollo, get a bunch of mills out. It just seems like the deck is so convoluted that it might exist and it might be okay. I just don't know if it's going to be this like FDK nightmare that a couple of people for no good reason have said that exists without showing the deck that would do that yet. Someone, yes, someone. There's a couple people that are like screaming FDK, but yeah, it might not have to get milling 7 time is far scarier than mill 3. True. I do think that this card will make mill control more viable, and we've already, as I talked about this earlier on the stream, is Salashade decks are starting to pop up a lot more in Clash, and people are exploring a little bit of like the here's mill as an engine as opposed to just I'm trying to mill you out to win a game. So your mileage may vary. I definitely think that the mill deck exists, but I think there's so many ways to also counter it between like Dense Fog, Monsoons, Artemis, like some of the aggro stuff that I don't know if it's going to be this crazy OTK combo that can't be responded to. No player that will master mill, correct. There's plenty of mill players out there that will definitely do well with it. Yeah, this plus Royal Auto is hilarious. We were talking about that earlier. But again, like Corvashine, all the Corvashine combos that look amazing and crazy and really funny and funky and all the Royal Auto shenanigans you could do all get shut off by so many different cards that you can just side into it if they're ever relevant and threat and make these decks like not function at all to an extent. And if Artemis is any good with the Artemis support that we're getting this set because of like the structure deck and all that, I don't see these cards being necessarily problematic, but I do potentially see them being frustrating for some players to not have answers to. You think it's fun? Yeah. I will say I tried to use Royal Auto to make a Turbo Fog deck, and it's just not good. But it's funny when you go, cool, Royal Auto, 40 solar cards, see what happens. 7/4 Liar, true. Actually, you're wrong. It's a 4/7 under Liar that's not equipped to it, so that it can be a super defender. Think about it. It's just kind of with solar. It's like there's so many really cool 2-card combos in this set that it's a matter of finding a deck that doesn't just get run over consistently, that actually gets you to set up these 2-card combos consistently enough. And I think Corvashine, turn 1 plus Apollo into something else is the closest you're going to get to it. And then you still got to play the Humbust after that, and then foretell again, and not let your opponent have an answer. And I don't know. Really cool stuff to experiment with. It's just a matter of, is it going to be good? I do want to touch on Sundial because it's next solar card. This is not Yatagarasu. It is not good. The fact that it has to destroy opponents' stuff in battle, as opposed to just deal damage like Yatagarasu would, makes this card horrible. Additionally, Yatagarasu and Elestrals would not be as impactful as Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of the fact that you can just expend a draw. That's my hot take on Sundial that I want to reiterate because people still are dooming on Sundial.
Yatagarasu?
Yatagarasu. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card that's notorious for a lock that makes your opponent unable to draw for the rest of the game with an empty board.
Yeah, that sucks. Let's not do that.
Do you think Champ will be played a lot in Lifestream? Yes, because Champwell is just good. Like in general, I think Champwell will see consistent play in any water deck and any tempo deck. I don't know how well tempo will fare given the card pool in Lifestream seeming to be a bit more stat wise resilient to some of the tempo stuff, like more fives, defense stuff, etc. But we'll have to see. Move on to lunar stuff, though, now. We have Bandaloon, Champion of Artemis. You don't think Sundial's... I don't think Sundial's... I think it's just too much investment. But I'm going to move on to Bandaloon, Champion of Artemis. It's a 3-1. You can expend a lunar in order to target a suppress 1 Spirit Celestial and take control of it until next turn. So this is kind of a baby carry-off. Are you going to be able to play, like, a Hermes Artemis deck with this card? Probably not. I think that's too much investment, but we have seen crazy, funky things you can do by going Hermes Trickery on a stolen opponent's Celestial, so that would be cool. You could also potentially use this to more consistently steal opponent's Celestials, to use the Spirit for things like Ambrosia or Nog. So if you play like an Artemis deck that has lots of Invoke runes, this could be really good to just double as removal, so it turns all your suppression effects into removal. So you go like Bandaloon, play Dense Fog, steal your opponent's Celestial, Ambro off your opponent's Celestial or something, stuff like that. The revealed chatter tried to have Break Sundial. It takes 5 cards though. Cunning Offer, Panison, and Frost Rise. No.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh god.
Wait, what is Enfrostrix doing there? To pull back a Frost Celestial? I don't think...
It's in Frostix or Rise.
But Enfrostrix only can reanimate a Frost Celestial. I don't know what you're doing with that combo. I'm not saying Sundial is not playable. I just don't agree with some of the people that are kind of dooming on Yada lock stuff in Elestrals. But Ice Age, this card, my hot take, I almost made this the thumbnail for the stream. Poseidon's Fury is better than Ice Age. Change my mind. Make a guy give them Cunning Offer every turn by giving them the Cunning Offer. Get over every turn by giving them Cunning Offer. I understand the Cunning Offer part. I don't understand the Enfrostrix Rise part. But Ice Age. So I compared this to Poseidon's Fury. You have a card. Poseidon's Fury is a board wipe as well. Ice Age is a board wipe. The best case scenario for Ice Age is you play it off of your Kion. The only case for Poseidon is you disenchant from Poseidon to use its effects. So we have the pros and cons of Ice Age, where Ice Age is much more like usable, much more activatable in more circumstances. Mm-hmm. But Poseidon's Fury's modular ability, where you can use it as a 2-cost destroy a 3-drop or as a 3-cost disenchant multiple things, makes it, I think, a little bit better if we had, honestly, a little more ways to search Poseidon out. Sure, we have Plucky, I guess.
But board wipe.
Ice Age is a board wipe in Frost, and I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's in the element, it doesn't affect the element that we want to actually board wipe. I don't think Ice Age is good in Blistrix. I know a lot of people, like, the best case scenario for this deck is you play it in Blistrix, you disenchant from a Cedar Sword to 3-cost wipe your opponent's board. I don't necessarily think that's the best case scenario, because in the Frost self-mill deck, you're already creating such a big board that can wipe your opponent's board with attacks anyway, that I don't think Ice Age is necessarily useful in the Blistrix stuff. Maybe in some of the new Frost stuff with Kion, it'll be more useful because you can use it off Kion to board wipe.
I also haven't seen everything from Frost.
We haven't seen everything from Frost yet. There's also the kind of funny part of if your opponent expects Ice Age and they go Divine Blessing, they pay 5 and lose a dude. I think the issue with the deck looks to be swarming is so much Frost, which doesn't affect what people are saying. Take the Fury's better. So, Law, I agree with the sentiment that currently Frost is the most effective swarm deck. I think Solar also can swarm pretty well with the cows if people played more Apollo stuff. I think the Aphrodite Locagon stuff can look swarmy. So the second you hit Aphrodite's Locagon and you search out Frostfall Locagon, and then you can special cast that Locagon out. Now you have 2 Locagons that popped an opponent's card. Having Ice Age is a good way to deal with that. So I think there's use cases that we don't see yet, and it's a future use case of like other wide archetypes could be reasonably like pop up in the meta. But ultimately, I think the majority use case of Ice Age is going to be kind of a 2-for-2 situation where you disenchant, pop your own card to pop probably 1 or 2 cards on your opponent's board, because if you're playing a Frost deck, your opponent has one, maybe two Elestrals on board, you have to sacrifice 2 spirits basically and play this card. So in a card synergy, like you're paying 5 to probably get rid of 2 spirit worth of cards or 3 spirit worth of cards of 2s and 3 drops.
Or sadly isn't there yet. It definitely gets better with Corp Champ, but it needs one more 3 attacker that doesn't require Liar to be on them.
True. The Afroline seems kind of a pipe dream. I don't necessarily think the Afroline is a pipe dream because you just like something like Tad Puff exists and you can heal back the spirit that you paid for the Tad Puff to special.
Yeah.
So if your opponent doesn't have Gorgon's Gaze in play, you just need Aphrodite plus Tad Puff and a Locagon, which isn't too difficult in a water deck that can go slower. The Aphrodite stuff seems very like combo oriented for sure, but it does create these situations where you have these pairs of Elestrals with Locagon that can just pop cards every turn, and then you follow that up with a Dratagua, you're popping a bunch of other stuff. Is it not just 2 Locagon in Afroline? So the thing is, Aphrodite, we don't have all the Aphrodite stuff yet, so we can't talk about the rest of the Afroline until we get more stuff. But currently, with the Locagon stuff that's revealed, that stuff's crazy. I legitimately think the Locagon stuff is crazy, especially with like a Dratagua, heal 2, trigger Lock-on Champ, heal another 1. That gets 2 triggers off a Frostfall Lock-on if you still have that in play. Your opponent has to deal with 2 different Locagon threats, because if you play Champion Lock-on Aphrodite, search Frostfall Lock-on. If you remove the Champion Lock-on, they still have the more threatening Lock-on in play. If you remove the Frostfall Lock-on, they have the Lock-on that will special cast another Lock-on back out if you have the second or third copy in the deck. Which kind of comes down to, do you play 1 and 1? Do you play 2 and 1, 1 and 2? Depending on what Enrage is revealed to do, Locagon's either insane or not good at all. I'm hopeful for the insane side. S Aphrodite is new bard to clear. Yeah, so I think the Aphrodite stuff is super cool. I think Ice Age is something that's going to keep like these weird lock-on shenanigans in check. Maybe. But to go back to Ice Age, I think this card is on the level of Poseidon's Fury, where it's more accessible but has more counterplay, and it's much more in the 2-for-1 space, where Poseidon's Fury, because it's more modular, even though it's more restricted on its casting ability, does have some synergy where you can use it as an Earthquake or use it as a board wipe, depending. So I think Ice Age is, yes, a very strong card, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's any more powerful than Poseidon's Fury in the pros and cons department, meta depending. It really, like, if everyone's playing Frost, Ice Age is obviously terrible. If nobody's playing Frost except for 1 or 2 Frost decks, and it's more reasonable to use Ice Age in like a Shiver or Nexus deck, etc., it'll be good. But it's, to me, it's on par with like Earthquake.
Or Ankle Surge.
Because realistically, if you're playing against the opponent's deck and they're playing like Pig aggro, and they have 1 pig in board, do you really want to spend 5 to pop 1 pig? I don't think so. So I think Ice Age is good, has use cases, but I don't think it's as cracked as some people might make it out to be. Speaking of cracked cards, though, I think it's the last card I haven't talked about yet in stream or video. Rise from the Shadows. This card is insane.
Y'all about to underestimate this card.
This card is, I think this card's insane. So the only downside to this card is that you need to be playing enough lunar spirits to use this card, because some people miss the fact that you have to use lunar from your underworld to cast the Elestral, so you need to have the lunar spirits already in the underworld. In theory, if it's a 1-drop Elestral and it gets destroyed, you can recast it with Rise from the Shadows with the spirit that it just got sent with. But if you wanted to do like a 3-drop and the 3-drop isn't fully lunar enchanted, you're not just going to get that back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the lunar investment is the part of this card that makes it actually, I don't want to say archetypal, but not as crazy as I think people expected it to be in the first place. Like, on first read, this is just insane.
Nog with 2 lunar, easy.
If there's any good lunar deck, this will probably be like a 2 or 3 of in any good lunar deck. Like, like if you play like Posthumous, and your opponent spends a bunch of resources to out Artemis's Posthumous, and you just go, cool, Rise of Shadows, bring it back. Hello?
Oh no, how will I ever get the spirits into the underworld?
Yeah.
God.
Wait, okay, so new plan, we're going to play Artemis decks where we just go, turn 1, I'm going to mulligan twice just to get the lunar spirits in the underworld, and
either
now play
mulligan
like...
or just expend to draw.
Yeah, but I think Rise from Shadows is legitimately an insane card because it forces your opponent to deal with a threat twice in Lunar.
Yep.
And it's extremely cheap. The only downside to Rise from Shadows is if your opponent's running like Thunderstorm and stuff and can snipe this, like it is a very telegraphed card. Kind of how like Bloom and Earth is a very telegraphed card in the decks that Bloom is good in. I.e. like Ankle Shock.
Yup.
Rise from Shadows is going to be something that can be very telegraphed and something your opponent will be, in theory, ready to deal with before they actually start answering your Elestrals on board. So, like, I think the card's crazy. I think there is counterplay involved with it, but you just slap it in any Lunar deck and it's like, oh no, my 1-drop Lunar got removed. Let me just recast it so I can get into my 2-drop. So it's going to help Ascension decks probably the most significantly. If you're trying to play like a combo deck to get to 3-drops and reanimate your 3-drops over and over again, it's useful in there, but it's going to be much more difficult to actually get.
Here's the thing about this card. It also doesn't specify which position it comes back in, so it can be an attack or defense. True.
Could be relevant for like, I guess, Galaxy shenanigans. I don't even know. But yeah, the fact that actually, hold on, it's destroyed by an opponent's special. I don't think this is the case, but if you declare an attack and you crash with an Elestral, is that count as being destroyed by an opponent?
Pretty sure.
Right? Like if I like in the Pantera 15's Reanimator world, if I go Rise from the Shadow, if I go,
I think you would need to react as it's like, so when it after that initial battle step, I think you need to react to it, rise it back.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I'm pretty sure it will count as destroyed by an opponent. So essentially, you would crash. You crash Hydrake.
You crash.
You cast your Hydrake. You cast your Twindra. You have a Lunar Enchanted Hydrake. You crash your Twindra. You get Pantera out. You swing with Pantera. Then you Nexus with Altar to Hydrake and swing. I don't know. There's definitely shenanigans.
It could be pretty crazy.
But I think Rise from Shadow is a very, very good card, and I think it's going to be just a good card in general in any kind of Lunar shenanigans that people might pull.
Wouldn't it also work with a Nabi?
Yes, it does work.
Yeah.
If you crash a Nabi, but the issue of crashing Nabi is you won't get to ascend it. Because Nabi ascends, not special cast. So if your Nabi crashes and dies, you recast Nabi, you just end up with a Nabi in play anyway. But it does do a lot. But that's pretty much all the Lifestream reveals we have so far. And that's all the Lifestream reveals in the past, etc., etc., etc. I was going to play Clash for like a little bit on stream. So we are done with kind of the reveals portion of today. So let me start switching over to Clash.
Which means I can finally get off this uncomfortable coffee table. Oh, I'm going to sit on the couch. I need to take my hoodie off. It's way too warm in here since we don't have the AC.
We do not have the AC. So let's switch over to Clash. Hello, we're in Clash now. Does anybody have an idea of what deck we want to play tonight? I'm going to probably play like another like 45 minutes or so of Clash on stream. And we can continue to chat about Lifestream if you guys have anything.
Oh, for sure.
Play Voltempest. See, the issue with Voltempest Law is I'm trying not to lose rank because I'm currently Diamond 4 and I want to play a good deck. I don't want to play something janky because I'm currently top 10 and I do want to eventually grind for the Omniscient. Like I was just playing some Bear Bomb stuff to mix it up, but like my deck win rates are for the most part crazy. This was 11-1 on Antitan for the longest time. Vault's not good in a meta where everyone's bear bombing your back row.
God,
There's so much bear turbo. But like, I mean, I could do like Phosphor Cell. I have a 47-6 win rate on this heal artifact control list, which is crazy. I could play, if I'm gonna play a jank deck, I would be playing Pent Bearer. You guys don't know what Pent Bearer is? It is the funniest Win Nexus deck in existence.
It's actually...
They can't bomb the vault. True. But, counterpoint, I can play Pent Bearer.
God, why?
And Nexus 2 Spirits with Circle the Sky to Ursa Den and play Majursa and then just play Win Nexus Pantera on the side.
Imagine Circle the Sky being played.
We're gonna go play a game of Pent Bear because this deck is just hilarious when it works. See, I have a 100% win rate with this deck too.
How many games have you even played with it?
One.
Exactly.
But I won by getting both Majursa and Pantera on the board at the same time.
That's actually
I mean, you can play Bear Bomb in the deck. Yeah, like Bear Bomb Voltempest. That's the new meta.
that sounds.
Nah, it's not horrifying at all.
So
It's gonna take me forever to find a match though, just because the being really high rank makes these queues take forever. Because the queue tries to, I guess, pair me up against someone of similar rank, and if you can't find somebody, it's gonna pair
find
me.
that hard to believe because I was paired up with somebody in 1 platinum when I was definitely not that high of a rank, and I got mutilated.
Well, that person was probably just. The thing is, a lot of people in the higher ranks are playing so many more games than the people in the lower ranks at the moment that you're highly likely to run into them. But the game does try to pair you somewhat reasonably close to your rank on average. So if I have a fast queue, I know I'm playing against someone of similar rank. If I have a really long queue, it could be anybody I'm about to play against.
Joke's on. What if I just jumped?
You're gonna jump into Clash?
No, you would actually destroy.
Is
Plus,
that Helen?
you would be
Yes.
cheating.
Helen's over here. I don't know if I think she's. Oh yeah, she's off camera now.
Off camera. I went onto the couch. The coffee table wasn't.
I also with my Clash setup, my the box is shrunk so people can't see it. Yeah, Helen's over in the corner playing on her Steam Deck at the moment.
I am playing Hades too. Why not?
Sergey just goes, I recognize the voice. Heck yeah.
I've got the chat up on my phone, so I can respond to y'all.
This is queue is taking a while. I've not had to deal with such a long queue. Oh, we got somebody.
You know what's hilarious is I think I played.
They have an Ursa down. Oh my god.
They got the Ursa.
This is not a keepable hand.
No, definitely not. That's horrendous.
I mean, I could expend a draw on it. If I pull Aeolus, it's fine, but. Did I not just... I put 2 spirits and hit keep, didn't I? Yeesh. Yeesh.
Proud of you.
No! I drew up a terror. Oh, this is...
Well,
unless I draw Aeolus next turn, this is going to go really poorly.
At least you tried.
At least I tried. They're playing an Ursa board, so I'm probably going to run into an Ursa Den deck. There's so many Bear Bomb stuff in Clash right now.
I'm not going to lie. That, like... Every time I jump on Clash, I'm either running into a Pig Pantera deck,
Zaptor,
or I'm running into bears, and it actually makes me not want to play Clash anymore.
There's so many people playing bears right now.
It's so frustrating.
Alright, what do we got? Another Exaltair. No, I am having like all the half-seas combo pieces.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of the
I am cooking with the Drataya deck. I'm gonna wait for Lifestream and more Earth support because the problem with the Drataya EFT deck and the new version of Fruit is that it doesn't have a good enough side package with the limit of Rise from the Ashes. Because originally I played the side package was a Pandasin kind of invoke recycling combo thing, which was really good at recycling our Ambrosias from early in the game that we discarded to Drataya. But with the Rise from the Ashes limit, playing 1 Rise from and 3 Pandasin isn't good enough for that engine of the 3 Rise, 3 Pandasin that I was playing to see much use. So I need better Earth synergies or another Fruit package of some kind to run. So I'm gonna wait until eventually, basically, until we get more Earth stuff. So Lifestream is an Earth Water set, so I'm hoping the Earth stuff does enough to side package into the Fruit stuff. We already see a new Lotagon that has a way to access Ambrosia. So if there's enough ways to build up Lotagon and Fruit stuff, here's hoping, basically. Hibernation, but I don't have a bear yet. I can't play Circle. We're going to set Circle as a bluff. I could just re-enchant this Toxiswarm.
Not terrible.
But I don't love that. But if re-enchant Toxiswarm, they still don't have an answer to a 4 attacker. I can go Exaltair next turn or expend a draw. I just expend a draw here and just try to find something useful. Okay, so next turn we can actually play the game. It'd be hilarious if I get an Ursaden. I could do the Aeolus Exaltair Ursaden combo off rip, but we'll see.
I mean,
Jolton for Stadium. I'm in danger.
Also, side note, I've been mostly playing the Low Surge, like Earth Nexus sort of deck on Clash, which has been really fun when it works.
Yeah, it's a really fun combo deck for sure. I do want to make a video on the Ankle Surge stuff, but I didn't want to risk my ranking dropping because the deck, although it
Fine, just do it on my account then.
We can't share accounts. That's illegal. I don't even know if that's not allowed or not, but I feel like it is.
I just log in out of you.
Ooh, Toxic Swarm.
It's just for a video. I don't really care.
How do I want to play this turn? If I go Aeolus, what do I search for? What do I have that deals with Jolton in this deck? I could go for the Hydrake here, actually. Let's cast Aeolus. And we'll go for Hydrake because we have all these Ambrosias and just try to board clear here. Not necessarily board clear, but get rid of the Jolton. Oh, we do get to Pantera, actually. We're gonna go full send on the Aeolus, so I have multiple Nexus uses out of the Aeolus, and search for Hydrake, which I believe I only have one Hydrake in the deck because deck space when you're running two really weird, funky engines together. Yep, it's only one Hydrake, one Trinjo, one Pantera. That's fine. And now we pray they don't have a Gorgon's Gaze. They have Gorgon's Gaze. I'm kind of ruined. Sorta, kinda. Very much, really. They're sticking a lot. This leads me to believe that they're about to Gorgon's this Hydrake. But we'll see. I guess Tsunami also.
Really been setting much back, right?
Yep, it is a Gorgon. Did they do that in the right step? I think they did. Yep. Alright, so now we have to rely on the Win Nexus burn / Ursaden shenanigans to win the game. If I can just, literally, I just need to get an Ursaden and Ursicle, and we can combo into Majursa and spook them with Majursa on the side. That's the theory we're going for now. Temple of the Sun? Huh?
What?
Why are they playing Temple and Mount Olympus? That's weird.
Phosphocell?
Maybe as the extra Nexus bank for Phosphocell.
Might be built up to.
They have 2 back row now, though. That's not good for me.
You're in danger.
Always. Alright. We'll just burn whatever. We have 2 Ambrosias accessible. I mean, I could play a P-Gus to pop the Mount Olympus so that the follow-up with Toxswarm's a little bit more reasonable. I don't know. Oh, okay. We're gaming. Ursicle. No whammies, 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 no whammies. If they hit this Ursicle with the Gorgon, dang it, I'm gonna still Hibernation here because even if I Hibernation happen to draw Ursaden here, I can still drop the Ursa combo in theory. So we're just gonna send. Oh, hold on. I need to. First, get back a Frost Spirit. We'll get back Frost, Fire, Wind here. Frost, Fire, Wind. Oh no, I needed to get back. Did not need to get back to. Okay, we're just gonna pop off with this other Ambrosia here now. Dump a fire so we have multiple fires to retrieve back with the hibernation, so we're more efficient on our spirit counts than we just were. Not the end of the world here. And now we're gonna hibernation and totally 100% just luck into a den and still get to den combo. Trust. Okay. Or we just get another Ursicle. I am okay with that. So we're gonna take our beats this turn and then go Medursa on the following turn. Assuming that's not another Gorgon's Gaze. So we take 4 here, 3 technically, go to 10. We still have plenty of spirits to drop a Medursa and Den. Cool. Oh, wait, I don't have the Frost Spirits. This deck is so bad. Why am I playing it? I can't use Ursaden without... There's the Fossil Cell that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, kind of predicted it.
I derped. I need a Frost Spirit to put on Den, which I don't have now because I just used it.
Did you just use your last Amber?
Not my last Ambrosia, but most of my Ambrosia.
You used both the ones you pulled?
I used 2 Ambrosias and a Hibernation, and yeah, I am the one Frost Spirit that I need is in my Underworld.
Box off.
Because I am dumb. I am very dumb. Faux real. Solar Charge? I didn't even realize that was in Clash. Huh.
Yeah, Solar Charge I think was added in like one of the last major.
How do I answer Fossil Cell in this? I have 1 ALS search. Doesn't get me over Fossil Cell. I can play defensive and maybe go for combo burn turn. At least I don't take damage here. Oh, I take 1 damage. The Rapid's in attack position. Fair enough. Okay, so if I play Toxiswarm here, burn them for 1, kill the rabbit. There's the Ursa Den. No, and I don't have the Frost Spirit for it.
Big unfortunate.
Then play Toxiswarm. This pops any rune, so it's gonna just destroy my Aeolus. I can get Pegas, I can Sorlet. I get Nemesail and heal a little bit. That doesn't do anything. I think I just have to go Exalt Tear, Nexus a bunch, deal damage that way. And then pray I don't die. This burns for 2, and then I attack for 2 more damage. And then if I get like a Nexus Bank, a follow-up turn, and still can play Exaltair, I guess I can win that way.
So pretty.
I am probably pretty dead. Ursaden is a Nexus. Oh wait, hold on. This will actually save me the Exaltair here.
Yeah.
So I do this, it saves me Exaltair. I take less damage from the Fossil Cell Crackback. As long as I have 1 Wind Spirit next turn, I might be able to burn for a win. This is shield, it's like F me, I guess. I guess they can Fossil Cell to pop the Den, or well, no, they have their other stadium in hand. They can use that to pop, but at least this, in theory, was an attempt to deal more damage and win the following turn. But I guess not in the cards today. I should probably add one more Frost Spirit to this. If I had the Frost Spirit, it would have been like mega over. It's just a bad Spirit deck. I tried. I very much tried.
Worth a shot.
Well, Rabbit can't at least run over my Exaltair, so they have to play another Elestral, or well, I guess if they reenchant Rabbit with a Solar and then play their Solar Stadium, they get over my Exaltair and I take 6. Yeah, they're playing a Stadium. I saw that. Yup. The Fossil Cell gets bigger. See what they do. Put the Rabbit in attack position, so they might be Solar Enchanting. If they Solar Enchant Rabbit, I take 6, and that's... Oh no. If they don't Solar Enchant Rabbit, we don't take as much damage. We might be still cooking. Dang it, they saw the line. Okay, so I take 6 here. Puts me at 3. I don't see how I win from here. Yeah, I totally ruined my chances at winning by just misplaying horribly.
Properly. Or not the
not managing my spirit correctly by 1 Frost Spirit. Yup. Alright, well, we can Nog. Not what we want to win the game. Alright, we'll just plop the Tox Swarm into play. Oh, I probably should have checked my tasks for today and been playing around whatever my tasks come out in 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah. Alright, we're going to go fix my Spirit deck, and we're going to go back in with Pent Bearer. I swear this deck is good. Alright,
Yeah.
and this is where we concede. Alright, collection, decks, Pent Bearer, Spirit deck, go down on a Lycanus, up on a Flurmine. Deck is fixed. I guess I should probably... Exaltair is part of the combo, but if I have Aeolus, the combo sets up already. We're just going to switch that to a Hydrake. And then we don't have any tasks yet. So, alright, back in with Pent Bearer. I swear this deck works. I promise this deck works. Oh, that was a fast cue. I think I'm playing against someone who has a high rank now. I don't hate this hand other than the Majursa. I'm gonna mulligan though. Alright, this is dig for Bear or Aeolus, then we can Ursaden. Toxus Worm. We'll bluff set 1 Hibernation, and then we just need to find either Bear or Aeolus, and we can get a Ursa out. The deck's neat. I misplayed so bad, Nori. I horribly messed up my Spirit management, and I should have been able to play my Majursa and clear board, but I was 1 Frost Spirit off from being able to do that. So I'm not making that mistake anymore, and I added another Frost Spirit to the deck. In hopes that I don't do that again. So thank you, but we gotta get better. But yeah, this is a pun deck. It's Pent Bearer instead of Pent Terror, so it's a wind kind of Nexus deck combined with the Ursa stuff. Because the Ursa stuff is a small enough combo, and also the Wind Nexus stuff synergizes with Ursaden, since Ursaden doesn't need only Fire and Frost stuff to work. The idea is you go Aeolus, Exaltair, send 2 to Ursaden, burn your opponent for 2, get out Majursa, pop a card, swing with Majursa and Exaltair. Like, the deck concept is hilariously synergistic. Like, so here's what the combo does. We're going to do it right here. Right? So we go Ursaden. And then we would put Aeolus here. So we're going to actually put Aeolus out here on 4. So that way I have spirits to search with it to follow up. And now I could search for Exaltair, burn for 2, put the spirits on Den, etc. But I'm just going to use Circle the Sky since I already have it here. And circle 2 spirits from Aeolus to Den. And now I can use Den to cast Majursa. And this is what the deck is trying to do. So now I can cast Majursa. Pop that face down. If that face down is a PTA, we're just going to go crazy aggro here and search for an Exaltair Nexus to it. And yeah. So this is the deck. This is what I'm trying to do with the deck.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Also, hello, Nori. It's me on the side.
That was a Gorgon's Gaze. Okay, so now I can search for Exaltair and punch for like 1,000,000 damage. But first, let's just draw with some Hibernations. Because we're not going to get another time that this Hibernation's at all useful. Nori says hi.
Yeah, I saw.
Alright, Ambrosia is a good draw. We're going to cast Hibernation again. We're going to get back Fire Frost. Draw another card. PTA. And then we're going to go search with Aeolus. Grab an Exaltair. Play other Aeolus. We'll give him 2. 2 more, I should say. That gives us the possibility to Nexus back to Aeolus on the next turn. Play the Exaltair. Exaltair Nexus. We're going to put it on the Majursa because Majursa is a little bit safer than the Exaltair. Burn them for 2. Isn't the deck great? I love it so much. And then punch for 1,000,000,000. And if they don't answer this on the next turn, it's like we go Exaltair Nexus back to Aeolus, grab another Exaltair, burn for game. I love this. It's so fun. It's such a funky deck. Like, it's very self-destructive with the amount of spirits you burn on yourself, but like, oh my god, I love this deck. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Are they popping my back row? My PTA? Yep, okay, they're hitting my back row. We haven't seen EQ spirits yet, so that's relevant. Arcalith. Oh no, I lose! Oh no! I should have put the spirits on the Exaltair. No, I should have used Ambrosia. All right, we'll try it again. I should have just used the Ambrosia. I was not thinking Arcalith. That's that is tragic. All right, we'll play until we get a win with this deck, and then I think I'll get off.
You might be
I had a 100% win rate until today. Oh, is this a rematch?
Yeah, your 100% win rate was one game. Tim.
Okay, this is a rematch. Yeah, that's still 100%.
Oh my god.
All right, we're rematching. We know they have Arclith though, but oh, unfortunate. We have one of our combo cards. We have some control stuff. They're burning themselves spirits. Oh man, if I used Ambrosia, I would have won that game. That's so unfortunate. They are really burning themselves, the Nogs and stuff. Rabbit. Rabbit search. One of these days I will win a game. One of these days. Right to the wind. Wind? Straight to the wind. Yeah. Another Ursaden, not what I want to see. At least I can keep pinging them for damage with these Toxic Swarms. They're playing Thunder Water, so they're probably playing Whales and stuff. So if they play OG Galaxy, I'll have the Gorgons to, in theory, deal with it. But the rabbits are going to be annoying if they just want to keep re-enchanting a rabbit. And it's like if I play another Toxic Swarm, I'm going to want to like put the Toxic Swarm in defense to play around potential Arcalith. It's just a funky matchup to deal with, but we'll see what the rest of their deck is compared to last game that we just played against them. Oh, they're ascending. Sonacore. I didn't even know Sonacore was in Clash.
I knew it was in Clash, but who plays Sonacore anymore?
How do I deal with the Sonacore?
That's the best part. You don't.
I guess just running Hydrix into it. I mean, they can't play their own counter runes now, so that's relevant. So they can't react if I go and get to an Ursa combo here. And we get to Ursa combo. Perfect. Okay. Play Den. Play Aeolus. Aeolus on 4. Can I do more than 4 Aeolus? Yes, I have to search in Nexus. So we go 5 on Aeolus, so that we can search Exaltair and still have 1 Spirit on it after Nexusing 2 to Den. So we're back to combo potential. Grab the Exaltair. Cast Exaltair. Nexus 2. Burn for 2. Disenchant a billion. Get Majursa. Cast Majursa in attack position. We pop a back row because they can't respond with the back row currently. So we can get a 2-for-1 with this Majursa running over Sonacore. So we'll hit this back row. See what we got. The Tsunami. It's a good hit. Let me think. I could go circle off the Exaltair. Well, I have a way to deal with Arcalith. They have Arcalith. So I'm less concerned going into this. Now we go run over Sonacore, deal 1 damage, Exaltair for another damage. We got base combo in play, and now we can follow up next turn with a Toxic Swarm Exaltair burn. and go for like Nexus Shenanigan burn mode to try and win the game. And see what they have to respond. This deck is so much fun. Pen Bearer is real and it can hurt you. It's just such an aggressive combo deck. I love it. What we got? A Toxian. So I'm going to negate this Toxian just so I don't lose my Exaltair. So it saves me a damage and saves me Exaltair. So in theory, it saves me 2 damage. In practice. And then I think I win game. Unless that back row is like hell alive. Methods for blockers. So we go Toxiswarm. Ping for 1. I'm going to Exaltair. So if I Exaltair to itself, ping for 2 more. Then Nexus the 2 to Toxiswarm. Ping for another Spirit. Have the ability to attack Toxian to crash for damage. So I definitely activate this. So it's either I Nexus, a Toxiswarm, and burn for 3. I guess it's the same amount of damage no matter what, because I can still crash this Toxiswarm for 1 damage at the Toxian. Plus this 1 burn. So we'll go Toxian, we'll go Exaltair, so it's 3 burn. One burn. And now I can go cast Circle. And this makes it so they can't bounce anything anymore. Nexus to this Toxiswarm. Draw a card. Get another Ambro, great. Toxiswarm burn for 1. Now, in theory, there's no way to deal with this Majorca except for exactly Tsunami. So we're going to heal up off this Toxiswarm because we have enough damage to win game. And we want to be safe from an Arcolith crashing back at us. So we're going to pop all of our Ambros. We still have the Gorgons to protect from an Arcolith as well if this goes awry. But I'm pretty sure this should be game. Alright, now we go enter battle. Attempt. Alright, that's game over. Pent Bearer is real and can hurt you. And you said it would take me more than one game. We'd be here all night.
Yeah, I said you'd be here all night.
Alright, I'll take it. The deck is 2-1 right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end stream here now. Thanks everyone for hanging out. It's been a fun time. We had a lot to do today on stream. It's been great. It's kind of dark here. Helen, you're off camera, but
I am off camera.
Adios, everybody. Pent Bear is real, can hurt you. You guys all have a great one. Peace.